What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's your girl, Miss Honey. You guys already know what this is. This is the opening episode of season 3 of Greenleaf. We've been waiting on this. Queen Sugar gave us a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you guys know Greenleaf brings the drama. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get this thing done, y'all. We got a whole full season we have to go, and y'all don't want to miss these episodes. I'm telling you, they a lot of fun. They a whole lot of fun, right? Also, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Share the video wherever you share videos. Listen, if you're new to my channel, if you have just newly subscribed, thank you so much. Thank you for taking a moment out. Okay, thank you for seeing a little value in what I do here. Okay, so listen, let's talk about these green leaves. It's a mess. It's a mess. Y'all know where we left off last season. When Bishop done went round there to the Biltmore and slept in the suite there with Cook. Is it Cook Cross? Yeah, Rochelle Cross. And when he went into the building, we didn't know what was gonna happen. We didn't know what was going on. We were scared. We was mighty scared. But Bishop seemed like he trying to hold it in the straight and narrow. He seemed like he got his head on straight. That and the fact that his penis probably don't work like it used to. See, this is what people got to try to understand. A lot of times, people good and they honest and they kind by default. You mean to tell me, Bishop, if you had a strong, strapping penile with your record and the way you have already been canoodling with this woman, you would have turned her down? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm just calling them out like I see them this season. I'm telling y'all now, I'm not trying to be all gingerly because the truth need to be said and it also need to be heard. Let's talk about Lady Mae first. Lady Mae laying around the house. She's in complete and utter malaise or malaise. You know what I'm saying? She is dramatic. She is laying about the furniture. She is all together, just distressed. I mean, she is going through. Her man been sleeping with her sister. She done put him out. She got the kids there gathering around the house. It's breakfast time. She's sitting there with Zora. Now, by this time, they done found out that that little hot tail grandbaby of hers done ran off. And so they supposed to be worried about that too. Y'all know how Sophia is. She's sitting there with her mama. This before Charity come in. She's sitting there with her mama, and she's talking about, well, maybe I just can't help but think that I could have prevented it. If I hadn't said anything, maybe she wouldn't have run off. Listen, they're not giving a crown away, Sophia. They're not giving a crown away for martyrdom, so you can just back it on down a notch. Everything you could do, you did. Other than take that punch for Zora, I'm not really sure how much more you could have done beyond telling. Stop it. Stop it. It's not about you. Find your way to do more listening than you do talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. It's okay. We appreciate you telling and all of that. But you ain't got to weigh in on every conversation, especially if you're going to be trying to throw yourself on crosses and fires and, you know what I'm saying? Bleeding yourself out, you know. Girl, bye. It looked like to me Grace is just tired. It looks like Grace is tired. Like everybody in this episode is coming after Grace, you guys. I mean, Lady Mae starts it off. After Charity comes in and goes on upstairs and takes her bag and Sophia leaves, Grace is like, well, Mom, just get you some rest and try to have a good day and whatever. And, ever since you got back here, it's been a mess. I came back because of the whole Max situation. No, you came back because your sister died. And once you find out what was going on with your sister, just the magnitude of it, that she would take her own life, you decided right then you was going to take on Mac. Okay, this is what happened. You did a good job and we're proud of you. We really, really are. But let's just call it what it is now. Lady Mae is projecting. She's giving it to Grace. She is giving her what's 4. You know what I mean? And my sister sleeping with my, and all of these things, none of these things would have been stirred up. See, first of all, Lady Mae is a long time from way back secret keeper. Now remember, her daddy was molesting her, and she kept that secret on until, if it wasn't for Mac leaking that thing out here and there, we wouldn't have never known nothing about that. Lady Mae would have kept that mask on, okay? Same thing with the relationship with her sister, and the relationship with her husband, the relationship with her children, okay? Same thing. She mad at Grace because she got broken masks laying all up in through that doggone mansion. And where are the servants? It sure do seem empty in that house. It sure do seem empty. Lady Mae done put Bishop out, and she done turned the house dark, turn all the blinds down, seal off the building, baby. She is going through. She is in complete and utter malaise. Okay. After she gets herself together and goes on to the office, and Bishop comes in a little bit later in the morning time after he done got a letter, and he discovers that they owe the IRS $2 million. Apparently, her brother paid the IRS man off instead of paying the bill. Now they done called the IRS man, and now everything the IRS man done touched, they decide they want to go through an audit. And they say, listen here, y'all owe us $2 million, and you got 90 days. And I promise you, 90 days seem like a long time until you owe $2 million. And when you owe $2 million, it's a trip to the package store right at the corner right there. Like, it ain't nowhere. It'll come up on you so fast you won't believe it. Let's see what else. Well, she tells him he won't come back home because he feel like everything will be Gucci and gravy, and they can get the people to give, and he don't care how they get that money. He feel like we can beg, borrow, or steal from the lotto lady. Now, I'm not saying steal like they gonna crack the window and go in through the bedroom. I'm saying steal like just bleed that lady dry. Okay, knowing all together what they putting their money towards is not what that woman thinks it's going towards. Okay, it's not right. It's dishonest. It's stealing. Okay, so she tell him no. She tell him no, she's not gonna walk around there like it's a facade. But that's what you have done, baby, the whole time. The whole time your father was coming in and out. And you was a grown woman, and you ride with him there. The facade of the fact that your baby, your youngest baby, killed herself because your brother, the rapist, was raping her. Come on, ma'am. You've been doing facade. Now, you might not want to do facade anymore, but you know facade, baby. You in facade like this. Okay? All right, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest about things. We keeping it real on this episode. Might as well. Okay? I will not have facade. So you do whatever you got to do, but you are out on the streets. Okay? She is mad. This is anger. This is her anger. And it's her party. She can cry if she wants to. Okay, she ain't giving not now inch. Cast him out. Get out of here. Go. So, she was like, you been shucking and jiving. I was like, man, you crazy. So then we see her. She back at home. She all lonely and distraught this Sunday morning. She decides she ain't going to church. She just can't do it. She don't know what do people do when they don't go to church on Sundays. And she rolling that big rock around. I think she took it off. And Grace looks beautiful in that slate gray dress and the brocade. It wasn't brocade flowers, but it was a set of printed flowers. Look like camellias here, and then they continued over here in that tight little gray. I said, girl, if you put you a little bun on and a little pillbox hat, baby, you would be giving me 1940. Yes, honey. Listen, Grace wanted to come to church, and she don't want to come to church. She ain't coming to church. She hanging out in the street. So Grace go on to church, and Lady Mae goes to the lake where her daughter killed herself. I think that's the same river where her daughter killed herself. And of course, she done got dressed now. She's in all gray as well. It's just like big collar coat, and she's bundled up. Y'all know Lynn Whitfield. Lynn Whitfield loved shiver in the cold. She loves to do that. Skin flawless, beautiful, gorge. Y'all know Lynn Whitfield is what? Timeless. She goes to a little cafe and she sees the older couple laughing and over tea and crumpets, and she is just like, what's it all about? Next thing we know, we see her over there at Jacob Church. She don't go in, she just peek in. You know, he got a scantily clad crowd, but we gonna talk about that. And who walks up behind her but First Lady Skanks, Tasha Skanks. Tasha Skanks walks up and say, Lady Mae, why aren't you at your church? And Lady Mae said, would you like some tea? I like that very much. Very much. Goes over and gets her tea. I don't know what that whole cookie thing was about. I don't understand it. But while she getting a fudge stripe cookie, Lady Skanks is fixing her tea and she telling her this story. This story is meant to rattle her. Is what it is. A story about a woman a couple of counties over that was married to a big bishop and he cheated on her and she put him out, and next thing you know she living in a highway side motel, and then she went and got this little apartment and fell from the second floor and broke everything but her one eyeball that was open and the other one was closed. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I would have been like, girl, excuse me, let me through. No, ma'am. She wouldn't help me up with that bullcrap story, but this is the storyline. This is what we're going to do. Okay, so she runs out of there in fear, like, Lady Mae, are you okay? Oh boy, she is broken. She get back home and she is shrouded. She's on the sofa. The house is dark. Ain't no servants. The house is big and huge, and she just looks so small and so miserable in that big house without it teeming with all the children and all the servants and middling about. You know, it's so empty. She's so downtrodden. Let's talk about Bishop. Now Bishop wakes up over there at Rochelle Cross room, her suite over there at the Biltmore. And he reaches immediately for Mae, but you don't forgot about the fact that there has been a bomb let off in your marriage, baby. And there's nothing but bodies and limbs laying everywhere, all about the place. Okay. She wakes him up, of course. She got a cup of coffee for him. He gets on up and she makes a pass. Boom, he hits it hard to the ground. Then he goes to put his shirt on and she goes to help him button it up. And of course, she is right here. She is right here, okay? Looking at the cross and this cross and the cross. There at the cross. I'm not going to do that, but listen. She right there in his face. She makes another pass. Boom, he hits it hard to the ground. I'm still married. She was like, okay, all right, no problem. He heads on off to the office. He in the office, this before he get the IRS letter. And y'all know that little secretary they got to sit outside of his office, his assistant. She don't want to let Miss Cross in. When she come bouncing in thinking she just going to go right in the door. And she was like, no ma'am. No ma'am. He probably busy. Let me check. Of course, he's like, no. Send her right in. This before he go see Lady Mae. She comes in and they sit down. Y'all, you know how they sit down knee to knee. This after he tell her to close the door. All the way she giving looks to people like, yeah, I'm finna run this mug. I'm finna run this man. I'm finna run this mug. These the looks that she's giving. This whole church and this whole man, I'm fixing to run it. Okay. Now, what kills me is that they know that she had a relationship with a pastor before. So I'm not really sure why everybody not on high alert. Not sure why she's able to walk around in the executive offices and things of this nature. But let's just move forward. So they sit knee to knee, you know what I'm saying? Like they in the park in the 1940s. And you know, he wants to apologize and she wants to apologize. And you are still married. Anyway, the secretary let great Gigi come on in, and Gigi interrupted the whole thing. And so she goes on out and she gives Gigi, you know, a soupçon of a look and heads on out. So Gigi asked to buy Daddy a cup of coffee. They go sit out in the cafe and they get to talking. Now, she done already had it out with Lady Mae. Lady Mae has accused her being everything but a child of God. Everything that's going on, everything that's wrong in this family, it is your fault, Grace. So now she talking to her daddy who called her Gigi. And he called her just like he called her Sophia, because see, Grace is his favorite. Therefore, by proxy, Sophia is his favorite as well, which is why she up on the pulpit and Zora out there running the streets. Okay, she at the County Line Motel. But I digress. So, her and daddy talking about what's going on, and your mama's this and your mama's that, and she and this and that. And she said, Daddy, is it where's the lie? Where's the lie, Daddy? And he was like, mind your own business. Mind your own business, Gigi. I was like, but I thought she was your favorite. I thought she was a wise one. I thought you wanted her to take over your church. Okay, all right, whatever. So when we get to Sunday service, Grace is sitting in the crowd. Her mama ain't going to church. She talking to her daddy. Now she done seen Rochelle Cross walking around the church. And Rochelle saw her after church, but we're gonna talk about that. So she's sitting there in the crowd on the front row, and Sophia is sitting up on the stage. We don't hear from her. Charity just singing, you know how she bop around the stage singing songs that nobody know the words to. And a lady look up and say, I think that's the lady that won the lottery. The lady look up and say, I take it your mother is sick. She had already given you an out. All you had to do is say, pray for her. Just pray for her. Keep her in your prayers. But no, you break my number one rule. Never, ever, ever volunteer a lie. She volunteered a lie no sooner than she volunteered that lie. It don't get to marinate now no time before Bishop get up there and say that first lady done went up the road to the next city over to do some family business. That's why you don't ever volunteer a lie. That's why. This is what I'm saying. She didn't ask you to lie. She gave you the story. All you had to do was just seal it shut. Keep her lifted in your prayers and go on about your business. Now you're losing credibility, Grace. Don't do this. Don't do this. But after she talked to her daddy, she had already called her brother. She had called over to Jacob. Jacob got his own mess that he dealing with, okay? And meanwhile, while they in church, she got Rachel Cross sitting behind her, sitting adjacent to her, screaming out to her daddy, making herself known. She won't make herself small for nothing in the world. Later on, after church, she sidled up next to Grace and said, if you ever need any money, to fund your outreach ministry, you let me know, because finance is my thing. I was like, oh, if y'all let these snakes get in y'all books, it's going to be a mess. Okay, so like I said, Grace done called over there to Jacob. But let's talk about Jacob real quick. Now, Jacob and Carissa done found Zora, like I said, at the highway, at the County Line Motel. They done got her in the house. Of course, she hella disrespectful. She just like her daddy, standing up in his face, telling him what for. He want to go through a bag, get your phone, your extra phone, your backup phone, the one you got for the plug and the one you got for the load. You know what I'm saying? I want all of it. And he sends her to the room. She slammed the door. I was like, ooh, my mom would have told my daddy to take the hinges off the door. If you slam that door one time in my parents' house, my mama had my daddy take the hinges off the door. So you slam that. You learn real quick not to slam no doors around the house, right? But later on, Carissa sitting there with the little boy, and she got on all gray too, all brown and gray. I mean, they all looked like they was dressed by Kanye, except for the fact that the clothes were all very, very nice. And tailored, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, she's sitting there all grayish, brownish or something, got her head all tied up and with a knot in the front, and sitting there looking just like the little boy. The little boy was dressed just like her too. I was like, what is going on? Did somebody run through here with slate gray and browns? And I was like, what is happening? Anyway, later on, Carissa goes and talks to Zora, and Zora lays it on. She puts the fiddle in the middle, okay? She got her mama right where she wanted, She gives her half a bit of apology, and woe is me, and I was scared, and all of that. And she is doing this because she wants Carissa to control Jacob, because Jacob mean business. Jacob's scared for Zora. He is. He's scared for her. He don't know her running off did something to him. Even when Lady Mae came to see him preach, later on we see him talking, and he is saying that can't really focus on it because one, them finances, okay? He got the account lady breathing down his neck because he's spending money to give out to the poor, but they don't have a lot of resources coming in. And she said, you're gonna bankrupt this church. Well, Lady Skanks, she behind every corner and every door because she's still working for Basie. And Rochelle Cross is her sister-in-law. That's Basie's brother. So she hanging out, ear hustling around every door. After the woman go out, she was inappropriate. She was insubordinate to the pastor, to Jacob. If she was, I mean, I think all of those things could have been said, but the way she said them was a no-go. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's disrespectful. Well, she said when Basie was here, she never talked to Basie that way. Now, I were you, I'd fire her. Now, what did you come in the office for? Just to say that, to drop that right there and turn around and walk out? Like, girl, why was you at the door in the first place? You was just walking by, or anyway? So he worried about that, and he worried about Zora running out the back door. He just don't know. Meanwhile, Zora in the church, she one of the people that's supposed to take the offering. Let me tell you something. Money is a serious thing. When you take other people's money and you are making yourself responsible, that money is going to go in a certain way, you have to make sure people that are handling that money are responsible. And for Zora to have run off and have shown herself to be a bit of a liar and untrustworthy, right now she is unstable. They got her keeping the money. Now she palming money. She taking money left and right because, see, she going to take that money and she going to run off and try to be with that little boy. Okay? But yeah, she in the middle of church stealing. Grace in the middle of church lying. I mean, whatever. But like I said, when Jacob and all the siblings get together, we see. What did I say? Grace has feel like she has done her part. This thing with her mama and dad is being dropped in her lap. Charity is saying, you got to fix this. Jacob is saying, I'll talk to mama, but I'll talk to mama just because I want to talk to mama. I don't want to talk to mama and tell her to get back with daddy and bring daddy back in the house because of how he treated me when I was out there when I was out there fighting and bopping. And she was like, come on, y'all, we got to work together. And they was like, no, you got to fix this. And this is what I'm saying, Grace, and I believe this is what Rick Fox is telling you, your man. You're trying to get your man to go to church and blend in and be that person that all these other people are, and that's fake. Now, I don't trust him. I do have my good eye on him. But he seems supportive for right now. Even when she come to him to talk about Rachel Cross, he seems supportive about it. But before that, she going on and on with him about how the siblings feeling, how the daddy feeling, how her mama feeling. She's just so frustrated. She want him to go to church. Well, he was like, for what? You still gonna have these problems with I go to church for you or not. So why should I go there and fake it? And I agree 100% with what he said. Like I said, I still got my good eye on him, but he do seem like he being supportive. And he don't Molly coddle Grace. I like that too. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. When you decide that you're going to take over and you're going to fix it, you're going to jump in with both hands, then everybody else is going to let you. Because meanwhile, they're going to go on about their life and do their thing and let you fix it. All of this is not at your doorstep. It is not. You need to have tough conversations with your mama at any cost and your daddy. Okay, and tell your siblings they need to get their ish together too. Okay, so later on at the end, we see Grace make a declaration and say that this church matters to her and her family matters to her, and she was not going to let it go down without a fight. All right, so let's talk about Charity. Charity come into the breakfast with Lady Mae, Sophia, and Grace, and she did it bopping around, and she is all, she knows that Zora is missing. She's worried. Everybody's kind of worried about Zora in this half-hearted way, including Rachel Cross. Now, it's only Grace that recognizes that Rachel Cross keeps mentioning Zora. Where is she getting this information from? Obviously, she is talking to your daddy, and that's what Cross wants you to know. All right, but still, I'm like, Grace, you might want to think about her like Matt. You might end up having to wrestle her to the ground and put a table through her forehead. Yeah, she seemed like she bucking for, she itching for a scratch, as they used to say. But anywho, Charity comes in. She's worried about Zora. I've only been gone a day, and Mama's put Daddy out, and Kevin is back. I gotta talk to Kevin. Plus, I'm going to on tour. I'm only here for a day, to breeze through, and then I'm going on tour with Jabari. Still you shocked and you dismayed, and the family and Zora and Mama and Daddy, but still you going on tour. You still gonna do your thing. This is what I'm saying, Grace. Everything's gonna go on, whether you fix it or not. All right. What I would be is a beacon of truth. And that way, won't nobody come to you looking for no bull crap, because they already know you're going to drop a steeping hot pile of truth right in front of them. And you'd be surprised how many people don't mess with you, don't bother you, don't knock on your door when they know you're going to tell the bloody, honest truth every time. But I digress. Later on, we see Charity talk to Kevin on the phone. Kevin looked like he working for a trucking company. He blue collar now. And he want to see his baby. Of course, she want to hold his feet to the fire because he done ran off and left her a note. And of course, she keep bringing up that note, keep bringing up abandonment, keep bringing up him leaving, all of that. But I feel like Charity is going to spend the rest of her time, if she not careful, trying to punish this man for being gay. That's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Because you are not willing, Charity, to be forgiven. And this was my problem with her last season. At the same time, when Grace tell her about the mama and daddy splitting up, and why, because the daddy been sleeping with their auntie during the marriage, then Charity said, I feel like an orphan. I was like, girl, if you don't put your big panties on, if you don't put your big panties on, okay, and grow up, and you need to grow up in this whole Kevin situation. Well, while she at church singing and moving around and laughing and talking, she see Kevin in the crowd. And Kevin say, when she walk up to him, she said, what are you doing here? He said, it's my church, it's my son's church. When can I see my son? She said, I don't know. He said, when can I see my son, Charity? I don't know. I'm going on tour tomorrow, and he going with me, so I really don't know. He said, listen, leave it with me. And this is the second time he asked her that. She was like, no. And he said, well, tell you what, you can either leave with me or you can stay here with him. But my son not leaving the state. He got rights. This is what I'm saying. I'm trying to see him. I'm trying to do what's right. You don't want me to do it. You can be mad and still do what's right. You can be pissed off with somebody and still do what's right. At the end of the day, it's about your son. That's all I'm saying. And she know low key, if something would have happened between her and Jabari and she was all heartbroken and all of that, she would go and talk to Kevin, and Kevin would talk to her. He would treat her with kindness. I don't believe he would do her like this. I just don't believe it. Okay. Um, so it takes some balls to come there, because Lady Mae know he want the custody of the son, to whatever percentage, and it's got to be hard for him to come there. I think he really, really wants to come back. You know what I'm saying? So, later on when she talking to Jabari, and Jabari is like, listen, we're gonna leave early. We can go down in the morning. We can drive down at night and get there early. And I know a little spot on the lake, and we can, what I'm saying, before we go, and we can do the nasty. He tried to set up all romantic, and she said, I can't go on the tour. He was like, what? She was like, I can't go on this tour. I got to be with my son. He was like, look, girl, you got a contract. And she was like, this is about my son. No, this is about business. It's about your son for you. But when they come to this business, come to these bags, come to these coins, then it's about business, boo. You got to grow up. I told you, your big girl panties, they waiting. They waiting on you to go ahead and ease them on, girl. So she was like, look, just give me a few days to figure this whole thing out. What's to figure out? What's to figure out, girl? Leave your baby with his daddy. You know the daddy is good for it. Come on now, girl. It ain't got to be this hard. You don't want to be with the family, no way. You don't care about nothing that's going on. You just like to look like you give a damn. Anyway, let me see what else I talked about. I talked about Jacob. Ooh, listen, let's talk about Skanks and Cross. Now, Lady Skanks is running around there. She ultimately wants to get this accountant fired, which it happens. After church, the woman comes to where Carissa and Jacob are sitting, and he is bemoaning the service and how he was worried about Zora and how he couldn't focus. And she comes in, the accountant, and tells him how much that it was lackluster service. He didn't put it all into it, and it shows in the offering. Well, he just outright fires him. Just outright fires him. And Carissa was like, I thought we was gonna talk about this. And he was like, I'm not gonna be disrespected. Half cocked, half cocked, half cocked. I'm telling you, it's not profitable. But let's move forward. So after she done scared Lady Skanks and then got rid of the account, ultimately she wants to be the one to keep the books. So she can siphon that money all off and give it on to her husband. They're going to rob him blind, emotionally and financially, the whole Greenleaf family. This is what Basie wants. He wants to take them down, okay? So they sitting around talking, and Rochelle Cross is looking for $300 lingerie to turn the bishop on. Now, the bishop then went home and went back to the Biltmore and laid down because Lady Mae said he can't come around there. So when she back at the house laying down in all gray and darkness and shrouded in sadness and despair, he comes in to get a few things, and before he can go back out, she tells him that she's going to stay with him. He can come back until they handle this IRS thing, and after that, she just don't know. No, what you are is scared. What you are is scared. At first it felt good to be angry. It felt good to be mad. You want to be heard, but at the end of the day, you got to do what business they do. And you found a lot of church couples like this. You found a lot of pastors like this. They don't love each other. They don't care for one another. But the facade must go on. And we're going to see more of that on tomorrow. I think I touched up on everything. That's Greenleaf. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. How was this season opening? How did y'all feel about it? Y'all let me know. Till next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holler.